Hello warriors, welcome back to this channel named Inside Angle and this series named The Final Battle. Hope you all are preparing well for the upcoming exams and are all excited to enter the final phase of your CA journey, which I rightly call the final battle. Well, I'll keep this video very short and to the point, but I can ensure you that अगर आपने video पूरा देखा, then this will at least to some extent have a positive impact on the marks that you will be getting and on the result that you will be getting. Well, let's just get started without further ado. So, honestly, अब तक की आपने जो preparation कर ली है, that's already done, right? There's nothing much that you can change overnight, right? So there are just few things that you would have to keep in mind. I mean, two people with similar level of preparation can still have different results, and I want to cover in this video at length what are different mistakes that people make versus what is it that people do rightly that impacts their results positively versus the mistakes that impact the result negatively. तो यहाँ पे beyond this extent, आपकी preparation से ज़्यादा things like your confidence and these tiny bits that I'll be covering will matter more. So make sure you watch this video till the end. Well, the first mistake, and I've seen a lot of people making this mistake to an extent, a lot of my friends as well. Why ये कि first paper FR था, while the paper was easy. So this I'm talking about July 21 attempt. Well, while the paper was easy, it was very lengthy, and that often happens. At least FR, DT, law जैसे papers में तो it often is the case that the papers are lengthy. होता ये है कि I spoke to a lot of people after the exam and one common thing I noticed is सबका 5 से 20 मार्क का पेपर on an average 5 to 20 marks का पेपर छूटा था. Now the thing is it's very true that the paper was lengthy and छूटना शायद जायज़ था, but क्या सबका छूटा था? Not everyone, but most of the people. The point over here is कि अगर 70% of the लोगों का पेपर छूटा तो there were 30% who were able to complete the paper, right? You have to make sure that you fall within that 30% who is completing that paper. As a matter of fact, will share my personal experience. I ended up writing the full paper of 100 marks. Obviously, last question में थोड़ी भागा दौड़ी के चक्कर में I could not write a quality answer जिसकी वजह से I lost a few marks there. But still, I ended up scoring 86 marks. अगर यहाँ पे मेरा attempt ही paper 80 marks का होता, 20 mark का paper छूट गया होता, then in that case I would have definitely scored less than 80 and 86 would have been out of question. The first thing to make sure is you will have to be determined to attempt 100 marks of paper, right? And how to appear for the 3 hours of exam is something that I have made a detailed video, which I'll put it at the I button. I had made the video back then in December, and make sure you watch that video as well. Well, अब करना क्या है? हो सकता है फिर भी despite having tried hard आपका पेपर छूट गया. What do you do now? Two things is what you can do. One is you can cry over spilled milk saying अरे यार 20 मार्क का तो already पेपर छूट गया, already मैं 20 मार्क अपने टारगेट से पीछे चल रहा हूँ. Another is forget that paper and move it. And I'll tell you why. Because काफी बार ये होता है. Actually, this as a matter of fact had happened with me in my 12th standard, wherein मेरा first paper being accounts वो छूट गया था. And मेरा obviously इतना नहीं छूटा था, 2 ही मार्क का पेपर छूटा था, but पेपर छूटा है feels very bad because जब आपको आता होता है और आप लिख नहीं पाते, it feels very bad. And back of the mind I had that stress, यार पेपर छूट गया, and to an extent it impacted my last paper. हुआ ये कि मेरे अकाउंट्स में तो 98 आ गए, yes 2 मार्क का पेपर छूटा, 98 आ गए, लेकिन इसकी वजह से मेरे नेक्स्ट पेपर पे इम्पैक्ट पड़ गया. पॉइंट आई एम ट्राइंग टू मेक इज मेक श्योर अगर आपका पेपर खराब जा रहा है या आपका पेपर छूट गया, डोंट कैरी दैट बर्डन टू द नेक्स्ट पेपर. प्लीज डोंट डू दैट, बिकॉज जो हो गया वो हो ही गया है. यू कैन नॉट instead try and cover up those marks in the upcoming papers, forgetting about what has happened in the previous paper. And काफ़ी बार ये होता है, हमको लगता है कि ओके इस पेपर शायद मेरे को 40 भी नहीं आएंगे, इस पेपर में मेरे को 60 भी नहीं आएंगे, बट ट्रस्ट मी a lot of time this happens that you end up scoring marks much more than you had expected. जबकि होता ये है उस पेपर के बर्डन के कारण शायद नेक्स्ट पेपर में you end up scoring less even though you should have scored more. Make sure you don't do this mistake. Second is how to handle lengthy papers. I think I've also covered this in the other video as to how to face the 3 hours of exam. But one thing I would like to reiterate here is that at least जो आपका roll number वाला लिखने का filling details and all of that on the main answer sheet is concerned. Well, the answer sheet formats IC has released in public forum, and I can put this in the description of my video. Do one thing. Take a print of this and try practicing writing the roll number and filling in details for at least a couple of times before you go to the exam. Why to spend time during the exam understanding के details कहाँ पर नहीं है? Unnecessary 5-10 minutes waste होगा, doesn't make sense. घर से ही देख के जाओ, roll number आपके पास आ चुका है. Write those details and see how much time is it taking, and get acquainted with the format of filling in the details. That's one tip that I would like to give. Apart from that, one thing I would like to quickly reiterate is the first 15 minutes you get are extremely important. तब आपको समझना है कि पेपर चाहे इजी है, चाहे टफ है, चाहे लेंदी है, चाहे नहीं है. कई बार ये होता है, फॉर एग्जाम्पल व्हाट हैपेंड विद अस इन एफआर, पेपर वाज इजी बट वाज लेंदी. एंड इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड दैट इन द फर्स्ट 15 मिनट्स, आप आराम से पेपर लिख रहे हो खुशी से, ओके इजी आ गया फर्स्ट 1 आवर में, बट देन यू रियलाइज ओ शिट, पेपर इज वेरी लेंदी एंड आई माइट नॉट एबल टू अटेम्प्ट एंटायर पेपर. सो वन थिंग यू हैव टू मेक वेरी क्लियर इज, आपको पहले से पता चल जाना चाहिए फर्स्ट 15 मिनट्स में पेपर लेंदी है या नहीं है. एंड अकॉर्डिंगली यू हैव टू सेट योर पेस, यू हैव टू सेट योर माइंड. And even if the paper is tough, like was the case with us back then in audit in July 21, जब हम लोग का paper इतना difficult आया था, one thing was very clear to my head at least, that I have no choice but to appear for the exam with my fullest potential. जितना भी आ रहा है लिखो, I have to try it at the last minute to get every single mark possible. हो सकता है वो 39 से 40 हो जाए, and that actually happens. So if you keep that mindset and don't get freaked out inside the examination hall, definitely you'll end up clearing. In fact, that happened with me in audit as well. I ended up scoring 59 in the tough paper. So the thing I would like to suggest is, चाहे paper easy हो चाहे tough हो, even if it is tough, it should not impact you mentally. And even if it is easy, make sure you don't get too excited and उस चक्कर में आपका पेपर छूट गया अगर lengthy paper हो. This is one thing you'll have to make sure. Second is, in the first 15 minutes you'll have to make sure that you select the questions that you have to write, and not only do you make the right choice of questions, which is very important, again something I've spoken in the previous video, so not reiterating here, but not only do you have to make the right choice of questions, but also you have to understand the sequence in which you have to write the questions, because that sequence is very important. जैसे मैंने एफआर में बोला, जो क्वेश्चन में मेरे को पूरा कॉन्फिडेंस था एंड आई न्यू आई विल बी एबल टू राइट इट इन 15-20 मिनट्स, अगर मैं 20 मार्क का लिख पाऊंगा, उसी क्वेश्चन को मैंने लास्ट में रखा. एंड व्हाइल आई डिड नॉट राइट द आंसर विद दैट क्वालिटी, आई वाज स्टिल एबल टू गेट 13 आउट ऑफ 20 मार्क्स. द पॉइंट इज, 20 मार्क छोड़ने से अच्छा एटलीस्ट 13 मार्क ले लो. दैट्स द पॉइंट. So decide the right questions to write and decide the sequence correctly. Now, how to do that is something that obviously you all already know. If not, I've already spoken in the previous video, and you can go and have a look. Second mistake, I feel, so this was the main mistake about lengthy papers and paper shooter, and how to approach lengthy papers in general, and how not to carry the burden of not so the papers where आपका पेपर छूट गया या आपका पेपर अच्छा नहीं गया, not to carry the burden for the next exam. The third and the last point I feel is the mistakes that people make is, काफ़ी बार ये होता है कि हम लोगों ने टारगेट सेट कर रखा होता है. CFR में I want 70 मार्क्स, SFM में I want 75 मार्क्स. अब होता है ये FR में हो सकता है मेरा पेपर ही 20 मार्क का छूट गया, अब 80 में तो शायद मेरे को 70 आए ना, हो सकता है आ भी जाए, बट देन यहाँ पे मेरा कैलकुलेशन चालू होगा. ओके, आई एम एक्सपेक्टिंग आई गेट 60 मार्क्स आउट ऑफ 50 मार्क्स, ठीक है, सो आई एम रनिंग -10. अब SFM में 75 का टारगेट था, आई थिंक आई स्कोर 50, आई एम रनिंग -25 प्लस पहले की -10, सो आई एम रनिंग -35. काफ़ी लोग ये कैलकुलेशन करते हैं. अब होता ये है, इस कैलकुलेशन के चक्कर में आपके आगे के पेपर्स बिगड़ते जाएंगे, बिकॉज यू विल बिकम अंडर स्ट्रेस, ओके आई हैव टू कवर अप दीस मेनी मार्क्स. एंड काफ़ी बार होता ये है कि हो सकता है वो टारगेट्स तो अचीव हो गए, बट एग्जाम के बीच में आपको लगा था कि टारगेट्स अचीव नहीं होंगे, which is why you got under stress and पीछे के पेपर्स आपके बिगड़ गए. So make sure you don't commit this mistakes. वो कैलकुलेशन मत करना मार्क्स की कि मैं इतने मार्क्स से टारगेट के पीछे चल रहा हूँ. Obviously, I will tell you one thing honestly, टारगेट्स छोड़ो अभी. You just know you have to give your best. अगर आपका टारगेट 90 है, बट अगर पेपर में आपको देख के लग रहा है आप 100 ला सकते हो, try for 100. Which goes without saying, किसी को ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए, ऐसा कौन है? Obviously, no one, right? So try and make sure you get every single mark that is possible right at the last minute, and I'm damn sure you'll end up not only clearing but acing the exam with the perfect marks. And the last thing I would like to say is, again, a lot of people I've seen get freaked out and get stressed and come into pressure even before the examination starts, right? मतलब एग्जाम हॉल में जाते जाते ही रोना आ जाता है वगैरह, एंड दिस इज ऑनेस्टली वेरी नॉर्मल थिंग टू हैपन, बिकॉज दिस इज समथिंग वी बीन स्टडीइंग सिंस लॉन्ग. इतना प्रेशर होता है, लाइक आई सेड, इट्स अ फाइनल बैटल. बट ट्रस्ट मी ऑन वन थिंग, if you get stressed before the exam itself, then definitely आपका exam अच्छा नहीं जाएगा. Mark my words. Only if you go to the examination hall with full confidence and with a calm and peaceful mind will you be able to write in the perfect manner and ace the exams. Trust me, I've actually seen, despite the fact that people with lesser preparations are able to score more marks only because they have that confidence and they have that self-belief that they will be able to do it no matter what. अगर आपको 100 मार्क के पेपर में 20 मार्क का क्वेश्चन नहीं आता है, 80 मार्क का आता है, तो 20 मार्क की चिंता छोड़ने के बजाय आप 80 मार्क्स में से 80 लाने का टारगेट रखो, इज व्हाट आई विल ट्राई टू से. कोई भी पेपर इतना डिफिकल्ट तो नहीं हो सकता कि आपको से 60 या 80 मार्क्स का आता ही नहीं हो. आता तो होगा ही. अब जब 60 या 80 मार्क्स का आपको आता है, वो 60-80 पूरे लाने की ट्राई करो, इज द ओनली थिंग दैट आई विल ट्राई एंड सी ओवर हियर. एंड ऑनेस्टली दिस स्ट्रैटेजी हैज वर्कड फॉर मी एंड आई एम श्योर दिस विल वर्क फॉर यू. ट्रस्ट मी ऑन दिस. Confidence and self-belief is the key when it comes to CA final exams. So again, reiterating what mistakes to avoid. One is try and complete the paper 100 marks. Second is paper छूट जाए, paper खराब जाए तो भी burden को carry forward नहीं करना है. Third is stop calculation of the marks, the target marks in your head. Tips and tricks में टू. One is roll numbers की आप प्रिंट वगैरह निकाल के फॉर्मेट की प्रिंट निकाल के ट्राई फिलिंग द रोल नंबर्स. एंड इसके साथ ही फर्स्ट 15 मिनट्स में यू शुड नो द पेपर इज लेंथी वर्सेस नॉट, इजी वर्सेस टफ, एंड सेट योर पेस एंड माइंडसेट अकॉर्डिंगली. And the last but not the least, but the very important point in fact is I would say try to have that confidence throughout, and don't get freaked out, don't get stressed out, trust your preparation levels. I'm sure you will end up getting the best marks you can and end up getting the best result. I would like to share a personal incident. हुआ ये था कि ऑडिट के एग्जाम के एक दिन पहले, बिकॉज द ऑडिट कोर्स इज सो वास्ट एंड इट वाजंट गेटिंग ओवर एट ऑल. The thing that happened with me was basically I was getting again stressed out because audit ka next day exam and I'm just, for example, done with just 40 or 50% of the course. So the thing that I said to myself is I need to make sure that a thing as a motivation that I said to myself is this is the last audit exam of my life, which gave me a lot of happiness. This was the same with the same case with me back in 10th standard when I was appearing for the science exam. I knew my science nahi lene wala. So I said the same thing to myself. This is the last exam, the science exam of my life. And same I said one day before CA final, saying this is the last audit exam of my life. And वहीं पे motivation बढ़ जाता है. ये चीज़ सोचो कि आपको, I'm giving an example, कि audit life में वापस कभी नहीं पढ़ना है. For example, this is the last audit exam. That boosts your motivation automatically and you will feel like studying, right? So that is one thing I said to myself. And the next thing I said to myself is I have to make sure this is the last audit exam of my life. How will I make sure? By ensuring that I end up clearing. And to end up clearing, I'll have to make sure my preparation is apt. Not just the preparation, but the 3 hours of exam are reasonably good for me to ensure that I end up clearing the exams. So yeah, that's all from my personal experience. I hope this video helps. Please do share with all of those folks who have their exams in the coming few days. Not just May 21 attempt, but also the other attempts in future. Thanks a lot. Stay tuned. Do like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Do mention your views and comment if this video helped you. And don't forget to share it with your friends. All the very best.